Dr. Darragh here, and I want to show you something called contrast hydrotherapy. Typically, this is done with a caregiver. It's a lot more practical if you have a little bit of help. So if you do, keep that in mind. But because so many people are stuck home alone right now, and some people who really need this might have to do it themselves, I am going to attempt for the first time ever, for me, to do contrast hydrotherapy on myself. First, let's start with the list of things that you'll need. One is a very large container because it needs to be big enough to fit 2 towels into it, 2 bath towels. Another one is another fairly large container because you need to fit 1 bath towel. And you also need a bunch of ice and some extra hot water. What we're going to do is have 4 layers of warm for 5 minutes, and then we are going to remove them as quickly as possible and replace them with 2 layers of cold. The very important step is that we also need to insulate everything. So I've got a blanket here as well. So 2 big bins, 3 towels, a blanket, and maybe an extra towel or 2 because we need to insulate the neck when we are letting our body warm and heat these towels. So the most important therapeutic part is that we warm the cold towel. This is a sign of your vitality. You want to make sure that you wring that cold towel out very, very well so that it's not too much work for you to warm it, especially if you're a little bit on the frail side. Now, one of the reasons I love the attempt of doing this at the moment is that we're going to do this on the torso. We're going to start on the back, and then we're going to work on the front. And one of the primary reasons that I want to emphasize this right now is because it can improve your lung function. Not only your immune system and your energy level, but primarily what I'm aiming for is to help blood flow in the lungs. If anybody's having difficulty breathing, making sure everything can move in and out of the lungs is super critical. That's really the sticking point that's getting people into trouble. So, I'm using different colors, mostly for my own sake, but also for you guys, to help me remember which ones are cold and which ones are hot. Let's see here. So, we're going to get our cold towel going. I'm going to steal some of this water here. And add a bunch of ice to it. Now, one of the things we've realized in school, at least for me, is that if you can get these things a bit wrung out ahead of time, you save yourself the time, because going from our hot phase to our cold phase very quickly is super important. So first I'll make sure it's all nice and wet and cool. And the way we want these to end up on us is folded in half like this. So start with it like that, and then put it in a way that you can easily wring it out. Okay, so let's do that again. Not quite sure how Marie Kondo folds, but hey, we'll see. One way in half the long way, in half the long way one more time, so that you can wring it out, okay? I think I might not have done that for our cold one, but I'll rearrange that while our hot ones are getting going. Big towel, bath towel, in half. Remember, this is the way it's going to be applied. Long way, so that we can wring it out. Now gauge the temperature of your water. It should be a little bit hot to the touch because by the time you wring it out, it's going to cool. So I'm going to add a little extra warm and move it around a bit so that I make sure I don't have any major hot spots. First, do no harm, right? So please don't burn yourself in this process. If you need that disclaimer, there you go. If you write me you hurt yourself, please don't. Be careful. Okay. So now let's see if we've got our cold one folded good or not. We'll probably have to redo that guy. And you know, guys, this is a learning phase. It's okay if it's a little awkward at first. And remember, if you do have a caregiver helping you, that's truly ideal. Let's steal some more water from my hot bin. By the way, I snagged this from my toddler's toy bin, in case you're wondering how to find something that size. You just got to be creative. You might have something like that in your storage cabinet, or you might just have to use really big pots. Or if you're really stuck, you can just plug your sink closed and use your sink. One way that we can do kind of a little bit of a life hack day to day is by ending your warm shower with cold. You should never really feel cold on the inside, but you should just do it for a minute or two. Sounds fun, doesn't it? Here in Arizona, we're a little bit lucky because you can start doing your ending your showers in cold in the summer to kind of train yourself. So we want to apply it, fold it in half like this. Really what you want on your cold phase again is 2 layers. So this is a little bigger than my torso, but that's okay. But I want to be able to wring it out, so I'm going to put it in quarters. And that way I can just grab it and do it real quick when I'm ready. All right. Get chilly, get chilly, get chilly. Okay. Now, it's important that you want to be you want to contact the skin as much as possible. So I'm wearing a little bathing suit top for you guys, just so that I can really do it for myself anyway. And we're going to start with the back, and then we're going to move to the front. Now remember, this is the first time I've done this on myself, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited. Are you excited? I'm excited. All right, one thing I'm going to need to do is wrap myself in a blanket. So let me make sure that's a decent fold. You're going to want to wrap everything as much as you can and make sure you tuck the neck. If you need an extra dish towel or big towel to go around the neck, have it handy. If heat and energy is escaping from the neck, you're not using that vitality to either pull the heat in or warm that cold towel up. So I've got this guy ready to go. And then hanging out on my fancy lizard rock here. So I'm going to use this as a little pillow for myself so that I can rest. Okay. There we go. This one's pretty warm. See? Grab it. You want to wring them out pretty good. There's no reason for this to be its own bath. So start high, wring low. And then I'm not going to sit it in the water. I'll put it right next to my table here. And then wring out my next guy. Some of you who've gone to school for this might never seen this done outside before. But I like camping. Do you like camping? I like camping. Okay, so we've got 2 warm towels, and then I hold them like this to keep the heat in while I'm getting myself ready to apply. Then we're going to bring it out to our half a fold, and make sure at this point it's not going to hurt you, okay? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to put on your back. 1, And then again, first time doing it. Woo! All right, like a superhero cape. And then tuck, tuck, tuck. Get yourself nice and warm. Now usually when you're doing this application on the back side, you're laying down. You can lay down on your bed and someone can help you with this, okay? So our warm phase is going to be 5 minutes. So tick, 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 tick. And just rest. Breathe deeply, allow that heat to absorb into your body. Remember, heat makes everything thin out, it moves easier. And if the lungs are congested, heat's going to be really critical to helping everything melt down and move out. If you want to also breathe some steam in this process so that you can cough, if you need to cough, do that. Getting sputum out of the body is really important so that it's not plugging up your airways, okay? In school, I've done this on a massage table, not me, but 4 patients, and then I had a nice big bucket of steam and some essential oils right over that face cradle, and then I just let them spit right in the bowl. It's a little bit rugged, but it's better than having to move around. Okay, and then, again, you might have a caregiver to help you. And it's really important to go fast between your hot and your cold phase. So I want to wring this out before I take the hot application off. Otherwise I'm losing precious time in that contrast. One thing we also like to do is what we call a hot refresher, where you might have a third towel wrung out that's warm and you put that on for 1 minute real quick, so that you know everything's nice and warm for you. All right, so I'll get that handy, take the blanket off, remove the hot phase, put it back in your water if you like, because we want to go back and forth. And then this is the fun part, are you ready? Ah! Good morning. Okay, and then get all tucked. I goofed myself up a little bit, but that's okay. I can fix it. And then this is really where the rubber meets the road, where your body's doing the good therapeutic work. So again, you can lie down flat on your bed to do your cold phase. But this is our actual therapeutic part. The warm phase is good. It helps thin everything out. But it's that cold phase that's actually doing the biggest action step. And the old school guys would correlate how long it took you to warm that cold towel with how strong you are, or what we call vitality. I like it. Feels really good. While this is going, although I probably should have done it earlier, I'm going to put these back in the warm water so that we could do the front side. But really, for your 2 minutes cold, you want to rest. Resting is important. Breathing deeply, knowing your body has the capacity to heal. Maybe visualizing your immune system conquering some evil creature. Rebuilding healthy tissue. It's not quite folded, right? Set that back in our warm. And again, your caregiver's doing this for you while you're resting, ideally. But if you're quarantined in your house, you got to figure it out on your own. So I'm not going to demo this with help because you might not have it. If you're really in a bind and you're worried, you do need to reach out to somebody, do it. It's okay. If you can access a pulse oximeter, which put on your finger, it tells you your oxygen concentration. that turns out to be the best tool for screening your progress with COVID. At least that's what the ER docs are saying. And then you can feel with your hand how warm you got that towel. It's kind of exciting to see how strong your body is. And then we're going to transition to doing this for the front side. So, I'll get this ready so that it could be easily wrung out again. Put it in the ice water. Make sure it's nice and saturated because I got it so warm. I'm so proud of my little body's vitality. Encourage yourself. Know you can do it. Get this ready. This time when I do my cold phase, I'm going to lay down because it's a little easier on my lizard rock. This ready? Okay. So, feel the temp. Make sure it's not going to hurt you. Just going to move this here. Okay. So again, your caregiver can help get this ready while you're processing your other side, if you had that. So 4 layers of hot, 5 minutes, 2 layers of cold, and you can repeat that. You could do another 5 minutes cold, another 2 minutes hot, 5 minutes warm, 2 minutes cold. The most important thing is to always, always, always end on cold. Rule number 1 for hydrotherapy fun, always end on cold. So now they're nice and twisted to help retain the heat. Good. 2. Good. And then make sure you're nice and covered. All the way covered. A wool blanket is ideal because it's not going to absorb water. Rest. I'm going to grab this extra towel so I can tuck my neck in. Good, good, good. And then again, if you have a caregiver, they'll get this ready for you while you're cooking. Twist it out. Again, try and get this done while you're still in your warm application. I like new challenges, like how to do hydro on yourself. It's kind of fun. Okay, so got that ready. And then we'll move the blanket, move the insulation, remove our hot application, and as quickly as possible, put the cold on. Good morning. And again, wrap, wrap, wrap. Insulation is critical. And remember, this is the most therapeutic part. So rest and trust your body. Minutes. Make sure you've warmed that towel. You can feel it. Make sure it's nice and toasty. Should be. And if you have trouble warming that cold towel, if you're a little bit infirmed or feeble, that'll happen. And so the step you want to take is to use more like just a dish towel, 2 little layers, okay? It's very important that you do what you have the capacity for, so make sure that your body can warm that towel. So, 4 layers of hot, 5 minutes, 2 layers of cold, 2 minutes. You can do more than 1 cycle if you like, front side and back side both. And you'll enhance your vitality. You'll enhance your breathing capacity. While you're processing, breathe as deeply as you can. We want to breathe really, 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 really deep so that we enhance how much fluid is moving in and out of the lungs. Trust your body. Smile changes your chemistry. And if you know you're in really bad shape, please reach out for help.